Our friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and this is a Shroud of the Avatar video about mounts that have just recently been released into the game. This is the second time I'm doing this video. The first one was a massive rant about the ridiculousness of quite a number of things, but I'm kind of a bit fed up with that, you know, just moaning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the cold hard, not cold hard facts, the cold hard opinions of myself without getting emotional. So mounts have come into the game. I believe it was an old stretch goal, so that's fine. Mounts kind of don't make sense in the game to me, really, apart from a cosmetic thing which you can run so fast anyway. But they're in, and you can get them in various ways. So the first way is to buy them at the store. I'll just give you my quick opinion on that. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. The cost, when you look at how you buy crowns, essentially it will cost you $20 to buy a horse model. Absolute nonsense, in my honest opinion. But then, you know, I mean, out of all the MMOs I play, and some that I've played that I haven't recorded videos of, Shroud of the Avatar has got the most kind of, it's got the worst, I think, cash shop I've ever seen. Everything is ridiculously expensive. I don't quite understand how they justify it. I mean, quite recently in the game, I kind of wanted to put some roots down, and I know that you get like a free house and stuff from going through some quests, but I wanted to do like a waterside thing, with just like not a huge one, but just a small waterside property. But with the deed and the actual house, it came to a few $100s, I believe. I worked it out to. Crazy, absolutely crazy to buy a small spot and a relatively small building in a game that costs a few $100s. I mean, I can't even begin to see how they justify that. I mean, there are other sandbox MMOs where I can go and build a mansion for nothing. Okay, it takes time, but I'm not sure what the justification is. But yeah, you can buy mounts in game, and the way that the crowns work, you're going to have to spend $20. I would probably have $1,000 crown option for $15, but even that's too much, really, for like a model. I understand I've had to do some work on it so that they're mounts, but you know, there you go. Second thing is that there's a nightmare mount that I have to buy. There's an option in the game. It says there's a treat for tamers, where you can tame a horse and turn it in and get one for free. So I can essentially get one for free, except it's not really a treat for tamers, because I think you only need one taming skill to be able to tame the horse in game that you need to turn in for a mount. So nothing for tamers, which I'm just personally a bit annoyed about. I summoned my nightmare pet earlier, and it's the same model. Even the markings are the same. So what I'm assuming is that they've bought the same model, or they're using the same model, so maybe they haven't even had to buy it, and what they've done is that they've turned it into a mount. I don't know why, as a tamer who's got strong, who you would expect from a role-playing point of view, has got strong animal affinities, which means that I can't ride my mount. I understand that my nightmare pet that I summon is not currently rideable, because it would need to be, it would need to be, work would need to be done on that for me to be able to ride it. But why not put this rideable nightmare and replace it with the one that's in game? It's the same model. So why not use the rideable nightmare as a rideable pet in game for tamers, just to give tamers something. Even if you put them into the game and there was a special rideable nightmare pet that you could tame, and it was harder, but as a tamer, no affinity with mounts whatsoever, apart from needing a very low skill to tame a pet. So don't understand it, but maybe I do understand it, because you've got to buy it, but I'm not buying it. So this is how it works. There's two ways of getting it if you don't want to pay. Apparently, some people, as part of their original kind of investment got some foals, some small horses, just decorative ones, so they can turn those in for a mount. But the way that you can get 3 different types of horses, not any of the flash ones, by the way, you have to buy those. Yeah, but the way that you get a horse is you tame a horse. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I should just tame it first time, really. But there's 3 different horses. There's a bay one here. I think there's a dappled one or something as well. I've got 100% chance to tame it. Out of range. That's interesting. The range on taming is normally much higher than that. I don't quite know why it's out of range. Out of range. Okay. I don't know why it's out of range. I mean, it's here. Oops, no, I don't want to attack it. This looks bugged. Out of range. Okay. So I don't seem to be able to tame that horse. I have tamed that already. So that's basically what you need to do. I will just swap over. Here we go. I did do it yesterday, just to test it out, and it worked. So taming bay horse. There are 2 other types of horse you can tame. Yeah. Actually, as a tamer, maybe even turning in my nightmare and getting a rideable one. Sounds reasonable. But there you go. Anyway, yes. So once you've done that, you need to turn the necklace in. So I think I need to turn it into knob. So let's just talk to him. Okay, so I thought this was now available in game, but it would appear not. I'm not sure if I should just turn it into him. I think normally when someone wants you to turn something in, see, this person's just got a pet, but maybe they've turned in a foal. I'm not sure. So I thought there was now an option to turn in. I thought that this was now in game. It wasn't in game. You can only buy one first of all. Oh, here we go. So bay horse, blanket horse, or palomino horse. So I've got a bay horse. Oh, okay. So you need to click on help. Not very clear. But there you go. Oh, hang on. Bay horse. Give items. Okay, so it looks as though Taming necklace. Oh god. Okay. So did I get it back? Holy smokes. Bay horse mount. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. So we've got a mount. The riding animation of the horse actually isn't too bad, and the way you sit on it isn't too bad, but it's very it handles very weirdly. But actually, I don't mind the handling too much. It just means it's quite responsive. So it doesn't really have a realistic riding feel. I do like the animation though of the horse. Yeah, so that's how you can get a horse. let's have a look at the... If you go to tactics, there are some horse riding skills. Now, weirdly, these skills go up just by using any skill. So you can just sit there and spam and write and they go up. Seems a bit weird. I mean, I thought it would have been quite nice that just the longer you ride around on your horse, you know, these skills go up. It doesn't seem to be the case. Let's see what happens if I leave on my horse. Okay, so bay mount, use. Okay. That's actually the speed of your horse is pretty much the same whatever landscape you run across. Like my character can actually run much faster than this on the overland map and in a map off of a horse, but on the overland map, like the terrain affects your speed. So it's quite nice just to have a regular, fairly fast run speed, basically, and it's not affected by any terrain, which is pretty. Oh no, slow down a bit there. Doesn't like the marsh. That seems to be about it. What's that? +4 mounted speed. Okay, so I think with the skills, speed and carry capacity, sprint speed, mounted speed. Okay. So there's the skills are basically for speed. For speed and carry capacity. Carry capacity is quite nice. I mean, I think the problem is that if you get off the horse, is then a problem. But then I guess you can go and do your hunting and summon your horse. I wonder if you can teleport while you're on your horse. No, you can't actually. No, so yeah, I guess you can overload yourself and go above your encumbrance, and then yeah, and then kind of run to a town. So there you go. I actually quite like it on the overland map. It's just quite fun. It's just that for pretty much, I'd say like 99% of the scenes I've ever been in, I'm not quite sure why you would have a horse. But then there you go. It was a stretch goal when they've done it, and that's kind of how it works. So your horse riding skills, you can just spam skills to raise those as quickly as you can. The horse skill trainer is in Decilis. It's the master tactics trainer. So we'll go over and do that. Yeah, so that's the mounts. Mounts are in Shroud Avatar. They seem to work okay. I think the cost is ridiculous, but then the cost of everything in Shroud Avatar is ridiculous. You know, I don't understand why, as someone who's really invested in animal taming, I don't have some kind of affinity with mounts. It doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, and the fact that I can tame a nightmare and use it as a pet, but I can't ride it, yeah, is not. Is frustrating, and I kind of feel that it's just done from a financial point of view. Even understanding the fact that, you know, businesses are businesses and need to make money. It's like I just think because it's an animal, maybe my expectations are too high, but I expected there will be something as a tamer, but no. And I think I'm right in suggesting that. You only need, you know, your percentage won't be as high, but I think effectively you can tame one of those horses with almost no taming skill. So it's not really a special for tamers really, which is what was suggested in the patch notes. Let's see how it works here. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I can just run. I mean, I'll test out the skills and see how fast a horse actually ends up running. I'll dump some XP into it this morning. But if you go to oops, yeah, so you can't interact with anything while you're mounted, which is quite frustrating. You just have to keep getting off and on again. But if you come to Decilis, come to the square, the market square. Next to these dudes in this building, you've got the Master Tactics Trainer. So that's it. I'll now spam some skills, raise up my horse riding skill, see how it goes. What I might do is do that and then come back and see what effect it has on on the riding skill, and also carry capacity. Let's just see if. So how do you dismount? That's interesting. You can activate consumables while you are mounted. Okay. How do we get off? Okay. That's not good, is it? How do I get off my horse? Shame you can't do the black horses. Okay, so I'm just trying to work this out logically. I'm mounted. How do you get off? Holy smokes, what is going on here? Okay, so I'm stuck in a mounted status. How do we? Let's see if there's escape. Okay, well, fair enough. What I'll do is I'll raise. It's a pity you can't tame the black horse there. I'd like the black horse. That'd be really nice. I'm not sure if there's any saddle making at the moment. I mean, your horse has a carry capacity anyway that seems to go up. But I'll raise some skills up, and we'll see what's what. Hello friends, welcome back to the video. Well, just to end off, I thought I would just show you what I've done. Basically, one thing I couldn't be bothered to GM the skill, got bored in the end. This one does that, this one does that. Thing to be wary of with these two is that one I forgot what I was going to say. One substitutes speed for carry capacity, and the other one substitutes carry capacity for speed. So you can kind of tailor it as you want. I'm only going to use the horse just to ride around on and probably carry stuff. So I'm quite happy just with what I've got basically. So I'll probably just reduce these two to their lowest, 10 or whatever it was. The skills that you see here have given me my carry capacity off the horse. In this equipment I've got is 500, so I've got on the horse and it's gone up to nearly 1500. So yeah, so even with this minus, it's still quite high, and it will be even higher when this goes down. Although obviously I'm getting a buff from this as well. So, but anyway, that's how it's working. Yeah, overall, I quite like. There is a change that is required, I believe, and it's the fact that I look as big as my horse. As someone who has been close to horses, as I'm sure most of you have, they're much bigger than this. It looks odd. I feel like I'm kind of riding a pony, or I feel like a giant riding a horse, which is fantasy. So I guess I could be a giant, but I don't think I'm supposed to be a giant. So the horse models need to be increased in size because it looks a bit silly. But you know, they're in. The animations are fine. They work fine. You can get about quicker. You can carry more stuff, so that's all good. As always with Shroud of the Avatar, unfortunately, it's the implementation. You know, I mean, the prices are ridiculous. I don't see what the I mean, the prices in the game are generally ridiculous. I can't see how they can justify what they're charging in their shop. But I mean, if these were $5, I would probably I'd buy 3 of these. Why not? As you know, I mean, even as I've said before, I'm a proponent of supporting a game financially. And when I do play the game, I actually do subscribe because I feel that I should. But $20, if I wanted these 3 mounts, they're $60 just for a skin. I understand some work has gone into them to get them to be rideable, but really, you know, you can't factor all that cost in just the price of one mount. You know, they would sell a lot more and make up the money, I would say, if these were cheaper. $20 is scandalous. And the fact that as a tamer, there's no real affinity with mounts is a shame. And the fact that this model is exactly the same as my pet Nightmare, but I can't ride my pet Nightmare is also a ridiculous, and it just feels like it's just done purely from a financial viewpoint. I understand that my pet Nightmare mount has not had the work required to get it to be rideable, but let me hand in a Nightmare pet collar, you know, what they called necklace to get the mount, just as a little nod, tip of the head towards you know, towards tamers. Even if you know, even if you don't want Nightmare mounts to be flooded, you know, make it so that the tamer has to have a, you know, GM taming skill or something. You know, just do that as a little nod to tamers. Yeah, but there you go. That's mounts.